I hate to be the one to tell you, but your passwords are bad. And honestly, it's not even your fault. For years, we've been trained to believe that if a password is hard for us to remember, it must be hard for a hacker to crack. But that is a lie. Take these passwords for example. They look complex and secure, but they are actually easier to crack than a simple sentence like, "My cat loves sleeping on sofas." But don't worry, because today I'm going to show you what actually keeps your data safe. Swapping an A for an @ or an S for a $sign is not clever anymore. Modern password cracking tools use massive databases of leaked passwords and smart mutation rules, so they already know these patterns. Rather than complexity, we are far better off using entropy. By using a fast phrase, basically a fixed number of random words, we can make the password exponentially harder to crack. But wait, Instagram locks my account after 10 login tries anyway, so why does this even matter? Well, that's because you're thinking of an online attack. When you try to log into a site, there's a guard at the door. If the hacker keeps guessing your password, the system will slow them down or lock them out after a few tries. So, on major platforms, online brute forcing is heavily limited and rarely works. But the real danger comes from an offline attack. Hackers don't want to talk to the guard. They want to break into the back room and steal the database where all the passwords are kept. Now, websites don't store your actual password. They store a hash, basically a digital fingerprint of it. And when a website gets breached, the hacker walks away with a file containing millions of these fingerprints. For that file, there is no guard and no limits. The hacker can test thousands to billions of combinations every single second. He can now start hashing every possible word or combination and compare it to the stolen list. So, the shorter and more predictable your password is, the easier it is to crack. Length combined with randomness is one of the strongest defenses you have. But if that is true, why are people still getting hacked? Most of us have one favorite password we are proud of, and we use it for everything. Our bank, social media, and the random pizza delivery site we used once 3 years ago. Now, if a hacker gets your master key, he takes your credentials and stuffs them into every major site like Amazon, PayPal, or Gmail to see where else they work. This is called credential stuffing, and one data breach at a small, unimportant website causes a domino effect that can take over your entire digital life. But what if you don't reuse your password? Well, hackers have another trick: phishing. They don't always wait for a data breach. Sometimes they just ask you for the key. You get an urgent email from Netflix about a payment failure or a text from UPS about a package. You click the link and it looks exactly like the real site. But if you type in your password, you hand over the keys to the burglar just because he was wearing a delivery uniform. You might think, well, this hasn't happened to me, so I should be safe, right? In reality, there is a very high chance your data has been leaked. Actually, there is this website called Have I Been Pwned where you can check this. It has a massive database of every major data breach in history. If you go there and type in your email, you will likely see a list of websites that have already leaked your master key. In 2026, the question isn't if your password will be leaked, it's when. Don't worry, you don't have to manage or memorize 100 different passphrases. You let technology do it for you. To drastically reduce the risk of being hacked, you only need 3 things. First, you need a password manager. Think of it as a secure vault that lives on your phone and computer. It generates those long random passphrases for you and fills them in automatically. Industry standards like Bitwarden, Proton or 1Password are perfectly fitted for this job. With a manager, you only have to remember one strong passphrase, your master key. The vault will handle the rest. Second, you need a multi-factor authentication, because even with a great password, you want a second lock on the door. but please stop using SMS codes. Hackers can just SIM swap your phone number and steal those codes. It's much safer to use an app like Ente Auth, Two-Phase, or Aegis. These apps generate the code locally on your device, so even if someone steals your password, they are still locked out. And finally, the future: passkeys and YubiKeys. Remember how I said phishing is when you accidentally give your key to a burglar in a uniform? Passkeys just fix this. They use cryptography, so your device and the website communicate securely and there is no password you can accidentally type into the wrong place. You just tap your fingerprint or use Face ID and you're in. But if you want the absolute highest level of security, use a hardware key like a YubiKey. This is a physical device you have to touch to log in. Without the YubiKey, access is nearly impossible, making phishing attacks virtually useless. Now, before you rush to secure everything at once, I want to share a useful strategy with you. It's called the bucket system and it's basically categorizing your logins based on the risks. You can divide your digital life into 3 buckets. Bucket 1 is the high risk. This is your bank, your primary email, and your government IDs. These get each a unique 6-word passphrase plus multi-factor authentication or a security key. These passphrases should never ever be reused. Bucket 2 is the medium risk. Social media like Instagram, X, or YouTube. Use one unique 4-word passphrase for each of these platforms. Bucket 3 is the low risk. Here we have newsletters, random shopping sites, pizza delivery, you name it. If you absolutely must reuse a password, limit it strictly to this category. Buckets allow you to break the master key trap, because a data breach at a random clothing store can't leak into your bank account. If you find this kind of video useful, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Now, if you want to be safer than 99% of people on this earth by the time this video ends, here's your plan. First, check the damage. Go to haveivebeenpwned.com and see which of your old passwords are already in the hands of hackers. Second, download the password manager today and let it handle your logins. Third, change your email and bank passwords to brand new unique 6-word passphrases. And fourth, stop clicking random links without checking them first. I hope this video helped you stay safe in the digital world. I'm Raoul, and I'll see you in the next one.